Welcome along to another edition of Bangkok ChitChat. I'm Andy, and this is Andrew.
Hello there.
So, what about the last couple of weeks? Anything exciting?
Went to the rugby tens, Bangkok rugby tens.
That, yeah.
So that was interesting.
Lovely. I mean, that Bangkok Pattaya is like expansive grass, isn't it? Green. It's like almost you're feeling you're in the countryside.
Yeah, but they had 1,600 players at this.
Yeah.
A different groups. So even as some people have said, the oldies on that show, that they had some, let's see, I don't know what they call it, geriatric game or something like that.
Yeah, it was, but it was written very nice. The description of the cup that they could win. It wasn't like for geriatrics, was it? It was.
I must admit, we didn't hang around that long.
I thought you might have played them.
But yeah, well, maybe I could have, maybe for about 100 metres, and that's about it.
I still wasn't eligible. How old do I feel?
Old? No. So it was very good, very successful. Well done to Darren. We did an interview with him, which has already been released, which was great because he was talking about not just about the Bangkok Tens, but about rugby in general and the professional side of rugby. And he gave some predictions on the Six Nations, which is running just now. But fantastically run event. I think they had a VIP section, which we took full advantage of. Yeah.
I did attempt to take a video at one stage in the afternoon, but
well, I think
we couldn't put it up. It wasn't good enough.
The beer probably was
well,
after the 10th beer.
It was more pictures of my feet than anything else. So, all right. Well, I had a really interesting 2 weeks. I got bitten by a dog. I go for a walk every morning, and actually, I counted on one of my walks 70 dogs.
You sat
and I
there,
walked 4 kilometres, right? There's 70 dogs.
The dogs.
Counted them. There's something to do while you're walking. Counted them all. But anyway, this one sort of came out from a vendor, and I thought it was coming to say hello. I nearly went, which you should never do, of course. I nearly went down to stroke it because I love dogs and that. And I just felt this little sort of like a needle in my calf. Huh? Yeah, you blighter, you've bitten me. But
it was a love bite. It was a love bite.
Give me love. So then I went back and my missus said, "Oh, you better go to the hospital for a rabies thing because you haven't had one, have you?" And I can't remember if I had one or not. So you go down there, and then course of 5 injections, antibiotics, which really made me feel weird, I have to say. And I looked it up on net, and normally they say some side effects from this drug, right? They said very, very common side effects of this drug, and I'm not going to name it, but is this. Nausea, diarrhea, headaches, and that was tiredness, and that was it. And I think the injections why
did you actually do that? Because the temptation, because it's a little nip, is it's just a little nip, so I'm not going to bother with the injections.
Well, half the reason was because my insurance covered it. Right, it's an accident. So I've spent so far. I've had 3 injections and 2 bandage changes, which were more or less just elastoplast taken off.
Yeah.
I'm shirt here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And
legs.
I'm quite proud of it. And I guess peace of mind. But so far I'm sort of $7,000 in the hole for that. So if I was spending my own money, I'd be saying maybe die of rabies. $7,000. You have to go.
I think it's sensible.
Well, I mean, I don't want to go on a depressing thing, but I read in the paper the other day about a 5-year-old in Krabi on Ao Nang Beach got savaged by a pack of about 5 dogs. He's, from what I hear, is going to recover, but he was bad. Throat cuts. And I mean, we've got to cover this on our show one day.
We will.
Spading, but that's not going to help this generation. It's not going to help it. We're still going to have them. And it's the way that I don't blame the dogs, although, this dog that bit me, I wouldn't mind booting it, to be honest, but I wouldn't. I've had dogs all my life. It's the way they're brought up.
But it's not just for dogs, it's actually the monkeys. Because when I was down there, there was a bit you can climb up and you go into a lagoon.
Temple thing, not the temple thing?
Go up by a rope.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And basically one of them got their teeth and it just pulled away. I gave it some Glasgow language and it seemed to just run away after that. Yeah. But I saw marks. It didn't break the skin.
Yeah.
But look at the teeth.
Do monkeys have rabies?
Yes.
They do?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, well, in the show today, we're talking on the What's On water features Mickey Mouse is coming to town, a marathon with a difference, and this marathon's been going on for quite a while, and also a reminder about something important. I'll leave it at that. And also putting a smile on your face, hopefully some more of our new feature called Clip Pix, which I think. And in just a moment, Andrew and me were going to be talking about, is there a difference between the older and younger generation? And we'll be discussing that in a moment. Yeah. Keep it here on Bangkok ChitChat. Welcome back after that very, very short break to Bangkok ChitChat. I forgot to mention also coming up next week, and this is, we've changed things around. Well, I'll just say this first of all. We're chatting to a manager of one of the most successful pubs here in Bangkok. His name is Eoin
O'Kelly.
And that is coming up, but we've decided to split the show up. We had a look at last week's, it was 59 minutes, and we think that's a bit too long. Yeah. Although, when you're on YouTube, if you start it and you've got to do something and you have to stop it and go back the next day to it, it'll carry on from where you left off. So it's not a big problem, but we thought we would divide our Bangkok ChitChat to sort of like a conversation piece with him and me. Yeah. That could be 25 minutes, something like that. And then the following week will be what we're now calling Spotlight, which is an interview with various people, as you've seen before. If you've watched before, if this is your first time, you'll be getting now notifications, not annoying, every week there'll be something out there from us. One week there'll be the gossip thing, and the next week will be the Spotlight.
And it'll be posted on Facebook, so you'll see it there. But that's an interview with Eoin O'Kelly. He's the manager of Scruffy Murphy's Sukhumvit 23. But we're having one chat, and we're part of it. We were talking about pubs, and I thought there was a situation. Every manager has different funny situations, and when I was at one of my friends' pubs, there was a young man that came in with his son, and he said, "Do you mind if he joins us?" And we went. So an older guy brings his son. Anyway, so he sits down, and some beers come, and I think we call them condoms, the things you put the beer in to keep them.
I'm sure there's a proper name for those.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know what it is, but that's one name that sticks in your mind.
Yes, it does.
Anyway, everyone's getting their beers. Yeah, this young guy's sort of sitting amongst older guys, a little bit embarrassed, trying not to embarrass his father. His father's scared that his son's going to embarrass him, and the boy gets the beer. We are all putting the beer in the condom, and
the bottle of the beer into the condom.
Yeah,
like you do.
And then
what did he do?
Well, he just took it and he poured the beer into the condom, and it went all over him. And the poor guy was just so embarrassed. Yeah? And his father's going, "Oh my God!" Yeah. I had to take him aside because everyone just wound him up and said, "Listen, you're just going to have to take it." So he got sort of beaten up verbally, everyone laughing at him, and eventually calmed down. But that is one of the stories from our sort of
that fits very nicely into what we're going to talk about now, the generation gap.
Well, yes, exactly. Yes.
Basically, there's our generation, and then there's the generation before us. Yeah. I always think the next generation is when my son is 28 or something like that, so he represents the new generation. But it means 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds and whatever. So to kick it off on something like discussion here, it says about the old and new generation. The younger generation are optimistic and ambitious.
I'd agree, but I think you have to define what do people see younger generation or what we'd probably call youth. So to give a perspective on it from Thailand's basis.
Yeah, this is Thailand.
Yeah, for Thailand. Yeah. So just now the 15 to 54 group amounts to 60% of the population. So you can see there's going to be some differences, as years go by, even from the marketing point of view. So 15 to 24 amounts to 14%. 25 to 54 amounts to 46.32%.
25 to
54.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is really the serious working population. Yeah. They've got families and things.
And some of them are what I call the new generation. Not the 54-year-olds.
Maybe your age, yeah. But,
no, I mean 54 is our generation.
Yes, yeah, well, certainly might. Yeah,
Yeah, but who looks younger?
yeah. And then you've got the 55 up to 65 and over, which amounts for to 23%.
Again?
So 55 years old up to 65.
Yeah.
24 and over amounts to 23%.
All right.
Okay, so there's some real changes. Big question I look at this is for the youth. I actually feel sorry for them because just now it comes down to jobs. Everything's going to be changing. But funnily enough, from the unemployment, I mean, for youth, our age group, it was difficult to get jobs in the UK. Right. Well, I found it in my year.
There were
redundancies,
sort of 10-year cycles of this, wasn't there? There was plenty of jobs for everybody, and then for 5-6 years there wasn't.
For
the university graduates not getting jobs.
80s, 85s to 90, that kind of thing. But Thailand's actually been quite lucky in many ways. That on average, since 2014 until 2018, it was at 4.5% unemployment, youth unemployment. The worst was actually in 2017, which was actually 7%. So what I'm really saying is that the pressures from when we were young and from their young, there's actually some similarities. Yeah.
My question on that would be, where are they getting their figures on unemployment? Because, a lot of Thais work, but are not registered.
Well, this is youth unemployment, so it's things like university leavers. And
so they're leaving university and they are unemployed.
They're unemployed, yeah. Now, of course, we have to take into consideration some people just don't want to be employed.
Well, true. Or, some go and work for their family business and are not registered.
But they're still employed.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to get their figures, would you?
Yeah, but that's how many is that on average? Yeah? So
I don't know. Is it because maybe there's more educational institutions around now, like colleges, universities? Education is better than it was, and these people do not want to go and work on the farm. They'd rather, they've got a degree, so they want to maybe come to Bangkok and work for a company who haven't got the jobs to offer them.
That's probably certainly part of it, but I also think within companies they're looking at employing people who are going to make the money immediately, and they see the university leaver as someone they have to train. Yeah, so they're not getting the.
I mean, you were telling me earlier off camera about the new generation in Thailand and the new generation in the West. Is it different? Because we want to talk about Thailand. And I'm just thinking about it now. I don't think there's a major difference. I think...
It's certainly changing.
Well, yes, maybe at a different scale, at a different level. But I think the younger generation... well, what would you say is the biggest difference? I've lost my way on my questions here. But the biggest difference between now and then? And I can't speak for Thailand.
I think it's habits. I think the big thing is technology is playing far more in today's... youth, than before. Obviously, certainly with regards to mobile phones. Yeah,
I think that's the
which we'll come on to in a minute. And
okay.
Social media in Thailand, certainly when you look at Bangkok, maybe not so much up country. I think people are looking at more about fashion and what they're wearing and brand.
Yes, but the thing is, you don't want to talk about
that's probably the same in the UK.
Well, yeah, but you don't want to talk about the phone thing. You don't want to talk about the phone thing now.
Yeah, fine.
Well, I mean, like, all right, 1965, 1970, go out to eat with the family if we could afford it. We're all sat around a table, we're talking, da 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 da. Today, I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I've seen many times, mum and dad, 2 kids, both kids are on iPads. They've even got that safety thing for iPads now that can be dropped because kids drop them.
Yeah.
So they're designed for kids, of 5 and upwards.
Yeah.
And then even the parents are on phones. And I'm going, that's not good. That isn't good. I mean, I love having dinners at my house with my family, and we don't talk on the phones. Well, I mean, there may be the odd phone call, but we're not on WhatsApp and Line and Facebook, and maybe take a picture of the food and a picture of us all, hello. But we're talking. What have you done last week? What was it?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of that maybe has gone missing.
Yeah, I think
in today's.
I think people are aware, and I think even the youth are aware that there's a problem with communication. People are not actually talking enough. Yeah, they're using messaging. I mean, I've seen, and even my daughter when she was living here, she was saying that sometimes she could go to a restaurant and everybody would be on their phone. Yeah. There's also a common thing where people try to say, put all your phones in the middle of the table, and the first one to answer their phone, pays for the drinks. That's something like that.
That's wife swapping parties.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't know about that.
Well, so I've heard.
Yeah. So the phone is
Well, yeah, and also it's.
You see couples messaging each other.
Well, today is also everything has to be now. It's got to be now. Microwave ovens. 1 minute done. It's 2 minutes. So they say that
there's a social pressure. I think
they say us older people. Well, they look at the younger generation as being impatient, but the younger generation says, no, we're not. We just don't want to waste time. Because there's loads of things I can do in 5 minutes. I don't want to be wasting my time talking about that or what. I don't know.
Well, it comes down to youth. I mean, the fact is we didn't have mobile phones when we were kids. And I think also with regards to parents and things like that, how you actually bring up your kids, I think that's very much changed now. Just speaking to different Thai friends, it's changed in Thailand because there's so much social media. People are seeing more crime or rape or kids getting played with, but I think it's through the media. So people.
You mean it always? Hang on. You mean it always was there, but it was not reported because there wasn't such a wide.
Yeah, and
media,
maybe
right?
it was also a taboo thing as well. Yeah,
no, I believe that. I believe child abuse was going. Well, we know it was going on because it's coming to light now. But there's a lot of things that crime you would never hear about. You'd have your daily newspaper, and that was it. And that's not instant. That was, the printing run was midnight the night before. So that by the time it gets on your doorstep at 9 o'clock in the morning, it's already 12, 14 hours old.
Yes.
The news. Whereas with Twitter, with any social media, it's instant.
Yeah, it's scary because there's also a lot of misinformation out there. You've got to be careful.
Well, no one checks it, right?
Well, this is the big legal thing just now with the social media. They're saying, listen, the providers should have more social responsibility to be able to manage what's going out there. How they can do it, I'm not too sure. Keywords or whatever, I'm really not sure. But I think there's also the difference. We're talking about old and young and how we were brought up and how people are brought up now in Thailand.
Yeah. I think family-wise, people in Thailand, I think they're closer knit communities in Thailand than they would say be in England. I don't know, and I can see getting bad feedback from this. I mean, there are families that are very close and very extended, but compared with say 50 years ago, I think families are getting smaller because they're travelling. People get jobs in New York. They can't have their sister marrying the bloke next door or that. But in Thailand, I think more of that goes on. I don't know. I reckon we should readdress this and come back and talk about it some more because we're running out of time.
Yes, yeah. So anyway, we'll bring something up later. Maybe a difference between parenting between when we were young and
is a smack behind the ear bad or a good thing?
No, they're trying to bring it to European Commission. You cannot smack your child. But what is class as a smack?
All right.
Anyway,
and if you want your comments to come in, then you can either write below on the YouTube, where you may be watching it from, or you are watching or Facebook, and we'll give you all the details later, or they're at the bottom of your screen. Right, what we got coming up? Because I'm totally lost now. We got some Clip Pix next.
Bangkok ChitChat Clip Pix.
Welcome back to Bangkok ChitChat with Andrew and Andy, and as the man said, it's Clip Pix. So we started doing this on our last show and got some good feedback, which we always like. So we've got a couple for you here. Now this one, we'll just play it.
Yep.
Okay. I like that backfire in the beginning. What bike is that? And there he is again. I think they're on something. I wouldn't mind £5 for that.
You might even hit another car.
I know. So there we are. I think we're going to cut it there. Is that the end bit? Or is it still going? Oh, he's still playing the tune. Here he comes again. Oh, here he is. It's the same guy. All right then. So, yeah. Well, we could go on about bikes making a lot of noise and them not being really a big bike. You know, have you seen these bikes with the horns that sound like Mercedes-Benz? So when they're behind you, you hear that Mercedes-Benz horn. It's a tiny little bike comes there. But I suppose they do it because they think that you're going to stop because it's a car, whereas you wouldn't for a bike. I don't know. Okay, now next one is team building. You know, you go to a nice hotel or whatever and enjoy some time. You have a guy talking and you get to believe in people. You get a guy who's talking to people for team building, and he said, "You got to trust everyone that's working around you. You got to trust them."
That's right. That's what
because
it's all
trust
about.
is all about stuff, right? The thing is, everyone has to be on the same page.
That's right. So let's watch it from here. Yeah.
It'll be an exercise in building trust between one another. So, Harrison, if you don't mind going first, step up here on this chair and close your eyes. All right, and then everybody fill in. And we're going to ask you to fall, and then they will catch you. So you have to trust us. So I'm going to count to 3. Just relax and fall. Okay? 1, 2, 3. No, wait, no!
Okay, it's got to be funny to make Andrew laugh, so there we go.
I think that's great.
If you'd like to send some in, please do. You can send them in. How again can you do that?
Just send something in Messenger or whatever. Just email or probably Messenger is probably the best.
Yeah, okay.
Or even put something in the comments. Simple.
We're taking a short 15-second break, and we're back with What's On here at Bangkok ChitChat.
Bangkok ChitChat. What's on?
Welcome back to Bangkok ChitChat. What's on around town? Well, we've talked about Icon Siam when it was opened and all that. Well, now they've got a multimedia water, where it says water features. It's Southeast Asia's longest light and water show, created by world-renowned Spanish fountains and water feature specialist. I spelled that name like Giza, like, you know, a water coming up. I guess you pronounce it Giza Water and Art. 400-meter water dance showcase, spectacular lighting, design sounds, live performances and multimedia that sparkle the Chao Phraya River, luminous water jets shooting up to 35 meters and using cutting-edge compressed air technology. Create striking 2D, 3D, 4D simulations. So that's what it's seeing.
Because in Paragon they had something similar when they started off, and I was up on the SkyTrain.
Oh yeah.
And I was watching this guy was walking across because it wasn't on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's walking across. He's
right. I know.
And he suddenly went off, and this guy was jumping around, trying to get on, and the whole platform was in hysterics.
I bet that's on video somewhere.
Oh, somebody will have it. But it was just so funny. Anyway, sorry.
Right, an evening with John Mayer. Concert at the Impact Arena.
Good.
You like John Mayer?
Yes.
He's coming here on Wednesday, April the 3rd. Tickets are like really expensive, and 2,000 to 7,000.
Start at 2,000, go up to 7,000.
Yeah,
wow.
Thai ticket major. And blah, blah, blah. New Light, Gravity, Love on the Weekend, Heartbreak, Warfare, Daughters, don't know any of them. Waiting on the World to Change, do know. That's your evening with John Mayer. Anyway,
Okay.
So, if that's your thing.
Where is it?
It's at, where is it? Good.
I got you out in that one last time.
Impact Arena.
Oh, right, surprise.
Can't catch me out twice. Got your phone off?
Yeah.
I bet you haven't. Right, Disney on Ice. They've been doing this for years and years and years. I took my son when he was young. Have you ever been to
It's a bit like when we were kids, maybe we get taken to the pantomime or something like that. I think that's fantastic.
Exactly what it's commemorating 90 years of Mickey Mouse. It's at the Impact Arena, Muntong Thani. All the characters will be there. Say no more, really. Always a top production, can't go wrong. Go to Thai Ticket Major for the times.
That's very reasonable. Well,
from what is it? From 700 to
7.
And there's different times of the day. I think they do 4 shows a day. It's over
where
like
is 5
days. It's at, please say I've written it down.
Impact.
Is it?
Yeah, Impact.
Oh, yeah. And one other thing that's been going on for quite a while, Vertical Marathon 2019. It's on Sunday the 10th of March. The Vertical Marathon is the 20th edition, okay, of this popular event in the capital of Thailand. Fitness enthusiasts, going to have to be fit, and also charity supporters will be returning to Banyan Tree, Bangkok on Sunday the 10th of March. The runners race up, basically, vertically for 1,093 steps, or 61 stories. That's how high it is. The finishing point of the race is at the Vertigo. Have you ever been to Vertigo rooftop?
No. Oh, yes, I have, yes.
Yeah, it's a lovely view from there. Individuals, 400 baht. Team relay for 2 people, 800 baht. And team relay, 4 people. Go to their website. It's called Vertical Marathon 2019, and you'll get the entry forms there.
Okay.
Right, that is it. Oh, and of course we've got the election coming up on Sunday, the March of the 24th.
Yes.
More than 66 million Thai citizens will they, be walking along to vote.
I think there's about 38 million who are eligible to vote.
Well, why does it say here 66 million?
That's probably the population.
Oh, no, it says here Thai citizens are eligible to vote.
Oh.
But I wrote this, so I'd rather go with you.
Okay.
So anyway, we're going to talk about it in more depth on our next show.
Yes.
Well, on our next show other than the Spotlight.
Just to stress it, it is not about political leanings or anything like that. It's just basically to explain the election process, etc. It's very interesting. It's something we've done some research on.
Right. Now, please keep your comments coming. You can do it, as I say, by either... Actually, someone did it by a messenger. From our
yeah,
Facebook.
by messenger.
Can you do that?
What we would like is points of interest or topics you'd like us to discuss. Give us feedback, locked, good and bad. Yeah. We can always learn. We're never perfect. So yeah.
Or just say hello and be part
nice.
of our community.
Yes.
Okay, got one from Brian Bim Bolan. He says, "Nice one, guys. Watching it now." That's nice. Gallant Man says, "Well done, Andy and co. I was DJ and helped build the first disco in Thailand in 1978.
Wow.
I think he watched the one we had Paul Jackson.
Do we only have
talking
geriatrics
about
watching this?
Why do you keep going on about age, you know?
I'm very, very vocal about it.
Well, at your age, I would be, you know. Anyway, he says it was an awesome time, and that's a comment, as I say, I think, on our first show. And finally, Craig Mello wrote in to say about night markets. I think last time we talked about that. He says, the one I like, and it's the one you like, is the new Rotfai market in the Rajada area of Bangkok.
That's that PSEC, behind Esplanade.
He says, although the Shinakarian one, which is what you were going on about, is bigger, it's out in the suburbs, which is true. The new Rotfai market, however, is more central and compact, meaning it's easier to pop in for shopping, eats and drinks. So thank you very much, Craig, for that.
And I was at an event on Thursday, and I got somebody turned around to me and said, "Oh, I heard about your show. Somebody was saying it's a show to watch," which was, whether you think it's true or not, as if it mattered, it was a lovely compliment.
Well, you keep those subscribes coming in. We've got 81 last count. We've got to get to 100, because then YouTube gives us some listing priorities and stuff like that. Or there's our Facebook. You got the figures and all that?
From Facebook, just go and like the page. Obviously, like the video. And if you go to YouTube, just go and please subscribe. It helps us on the basis of showing popularity, and there's certain features that are released through YouTube as you hit certain levels of subscribers. So if you like it, let us know.
All right, well, that's it from us, really.
Yep.
Yeah. Have a great day. Had some great days here in Thailand, and we'll catch up with you next time here on Bangkok ChitChat.